Hello, it's Chris Bolton again, and this is part one of our little 5-part series on how to make the internet work for you. Now, remember, there is a little booklet that goes with this, but the video kind of punctuates and illustrates a lot of what we talk about in the booklet. So make sure you listen to the video and you have a look at the booklet as well. Alright, have fun and I'll talk soon. First of all, let's discuss market research. Now, this is obviously a big topic in the offline world as well, but it carries just as much importance online. And there's a few things that can make market research really quite easy for you when we're doing it online. So let's just run through that. I'm not going to give you the whole marketing spiel. You know, that's for another day or another person to do. But there are still some pretty basic questions that you want to be answering, or that you should know the answers to. So those questions: who are you selling to? What are her needs? What are her hurts? Where is the pain? And what does she need to hear from you so that she will buy from you or feel good about buying from you? So when I say buy, that may not mean necessarily the transaction of money. It may be any action that you want them to take. So for example, it could be for them to subscribe to your newsletter. It could be to catch an email address for an ebook. It could be to buy something online, obviously. It could be to sign up to your forum. There's a whole heap of things that you can ask people to do. You need to know their touch points if you're going to get them to take the actions online that you want them to take. So it's very important. And the other big thing is, don't presume that you know everything about your client. I think it's a very natural assumption to assume that we know exactly what's going on with our clients. But the saying is, to guess makes a mess, and I think it's true. I think you should take as much of the guesswork out of market research as you can, and thankfully the internet can make this pretty easy for you. So you've got things like the survey platforms. So say SurveyMonkey is the one that I use. There's plenty others, and they will allow you to do very cheap, very quick surveys. Keep them super short, less than a page, less than a minute, and you can do a very focused little survey, and people don't mind filling them in. You can send them out with your newsletter with a little link in there. So survey tools are really cool. Google AdWords is another one that I use, and it's mainly an advertising tool, of course. Everybody would know it when you see those little ads at the top of the search listings. But I don't use it that much for advertising. I do use AdWords, but I mainly use it in my market research. And the way I do this is a neat little trick. Say if I'm putting an expensive ad in a local newspaper or whatever, and obviously I'm paying a lot of money for that ad, I want it to do the best that I can. So I can run 2 or 3 different titles for that ad on AdWords, and then we can measure that quite nicely and see which ad is the most responsive. We'll see how many people click through on whatever ad, A, B or C, and that's going to give you a pretty good idea of which ad or which title you should use in your offline advertising. So it's a kind of cool little research tool. Keyword research is the most important part of the market research from an SEO perspective, from a search engine optimization perspective. So we really need to know what words we're using, why we're using them, and really if they're going to be good value keywords and they're worth chasing and ranking, because the ranking takes time and money, so you want to make sure you're ranking the right words. So you can look at the Google AdWords tool. If you have an AdWords account, you can log in and you'll get the following pieces of information. You'll get a local search volume. Okay, so that's local search for Australia or for whichever country you're looking to market to. You will get a competition, and it'll be high or medium or low, and you will get a cost per click, or a CPC, which is how much it would cost you roughly to place an ad on Google AdWords for that particular keyword. So they're handy little metrics, and the CPC in particular is really very handy because Google's very smart and it's worked a lot of stuff out, and a high CPC, and in our industry that's around about $3 or more, is a good indicator for a buying keyword. Okay, so if you're looking at keywords and they cost about 70 cents, what Google's telling you is that that keyword is not really one that people are going to buy from, and for that reason it's not one that I would be in a big rush to use for any search engine optimization. You want keywords that people are ready to buy with, or to take some sort of action with, and you want a reasonable search volume and not too much competition. So they're the criteria that we put on keywords, and if you take up one of our SEO packages, we do that keyword research for you as a part of the setup. It's all free as part of the setup, and it's super important. You just really want to make sure you head off on the right track with this. Competition research is also another thing that you can do. There's a lot of tools and programs that you can get, or that I have access to, where you can kind of dig inside the words that your competitor sites are using, the ones they're advertising with, the ones that they feel are important, and if they've been advertising with these words for a long time, guess what? They probably are worthwhile words. So there's a lot to be said for having a look at what your competitors are doing, and it gets a lot fancier and a lot sneakier than that. I mean, you can follow people around the internet based on some of these words. You can even send traffic to your competitors, which sounds kind of crazy, but you can then track where people go through your competitors' sites, which pages they land on, which products they buy, blah blah blah. You can track them right through, and that is super cool, super sneaky sort of information that you can get about your competitors. So there's lots of stuff you can do if you want to, but really the keyword research and just having a good idea of your surveys and your customers is by far the most important part of this. Alright, I hope that's been helpful. If you need to speak to us about any of this research, or you're interested in any of the SEO packages, then you can contact us through the boxes below. Thanks for your time.